You always want to be prepared. You want to be 100% prepared for things that take place in this business. And as we've seen over the last couple of months, as we've seen over the last couple of years, and as we'll continue to see, the music business is constantly changing right now. When you go out and just strictly market your MySpace page, you're doing yourself a huge injustice because you do not own your MySpace page. I'm going to say that again in case you did not get it and in case this is new to you. You do not own your MySpace page. MySpace, okay, and News Corp, the company that owns MySpace, owns your MySpace page. Be prepared. What happens if MySpace one day decides to say, you know, we need to monetize all of these sites that we have out there, all these MySpace pages that we have out there? How can we do this? Let's start charging our users. But what if they say, you know, we're going to charge a ridiculous amount. We're going to charge $300. We're going to charge $400, $500 a month. Or a year. For some people, that's a lot of money. Some of you guys that are listening in on this call and to the recording, that is a lot of money. That's money that you can be putting somewhere else. It's money that does not need to be misdirected through your MySpace page when you can have a website of your own. All right, be prepared. What happens if MySpace gets hacked, if it crashes, and you've got some of your most important copy, and by copy I mean text on there. You've got some of your most important information, stuff that you cannot get back, all because you failed to properly handle your MySpace page the right way. And when I say that, what I mean is you should be having your own website. You should have your own domain name and redirect your MySpace page, your MySpace URL through your domain name. All right? Redirect your MySpace page through your domain name. And for those of you who are new on this call to the terminology, domain names and redirects and, you know, web pages and all this other stuff, I'm going to simplify it for you. What happens is, once you get your website up and running, or once you actually have your domain name listed, you know, you can go in and buy your domain name, like I said, for $6.99, $9.99. And these services, these companies, they have a service that will allow you to redirect people that enter your domain name to anywhere else you want that traffic to go. Be it to your MySpace page, be it to your blog, be it to, you know, one of my pages, whatever. So if your site is www.tycohen.com and someone actually goes in to their web browser and types in www.tycohen.com, you can have that traffic, you can have that individual redirected to your MySpace page. So if your MySpace page is www.myspace.com/Albert and Tempe, and again, I'm using you guys as an example because you guys were on last week's call. But if your MySpace page is www.myspace.com/Albert and Tempe, anyone that types in www.tycohen.com will be redirected to your MySpace page. And this all happens in a split second. So the user has no idea as to what's going on. You're protecting your brand name, which is you, right? And you're also protecting yourself. You're being prepared in the event that something happens with MySpace, or in the event that they decide to start charging. Right? So this is stuff. When I say be prepared, when I say be focused, this is all stuff that you want to listen. You want to pay attention to. Right? Of course, MySpace, they're making money off of the advertising, you know, and that's their main source of income right now is the advertising. But as you know, as I know, businesses remain in business if they continue to show a profit. And the next logical step for MySpace is to start charging their users a fee. Right? So be prepared. When you register your domain name, or if you have one already, go to your registrar, or to the company that you registered it with, and say to them, you know, how do I create a redirect? I want to redirect people who enter my domain name or my website address to my MySpace site. Or go out and buy another domain name. They're cheap enough, they're $6.99, $9.99. Buy one specifically for your MySpace page. Right? And you can have, your domain name could be something like, JohnnyMySpace.com. Well, get creative with it. I just came up with that on the fly, but get creative with it, Johnny'sMySpaceSite.com. And anyone that goes to Johnny'sMySpaceSite.com,
the next couple of months, the next couple of years, you're going to see some pretty amazing things, some astronomical things that take place in what's now known as the new music industry, or the new online music industry. You're going to see some amazing things that are going to take place. Right? We're already starting to see it, and we have been for some time now. So that's just evidence that this internet thing and tying your music into it, you really need to be focused and you really need to understand how it works. And this goes so much further beyond having a simple MySpace page or just having a website. Those two are, there's spokes in the hub, right? There's spokes in the world, but there's so many other components to it. There's YouTube and there's viral marketing, there's Web 2.0 sites, there's community sites. All right, so a lot of the changes we're already starting to see. And I'm going to give you guys a couple of examples. For instance, there's a British-based rock group, for those of you who are listening in the UK, and a lot of people here in the US are familiar with them, named Radiohead. And these guys did something that was revolutionary the last couple of weeks ago. It's been in the news. I'm sure a lot of you guys heard about it. And what they did was they said goodbye. They walked away from their big name record label deal. They totally walked away from it. This takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of balls to be able to do something like this. But they realized that with the internet, and with the popularity that they already had, with the fan base that they had in place already, they did not need that traditional record deal. So what they did was they decided, they said, we don't need our regular record deal. We don't need this thing. They're screwing us over. We're getting a fraction of a fraction of what we should be earning. The record company's making the majority of the money. So let's get rid of a record label. Let's cut the middleman out. Let's release our next album on our own from our website. And that's exactly what they did. They released their album visibly from their own website. They let the fans determine their prices. And this is what they did. What they did was so clever. The marketing ploy was so clever. They said to the fans,